support counts over here, okay, and then rearrange the item sets in terms of the decreasing support count. That is, the largest one you write first and the next largest and so on. Once you have computed the item sets in terms of their support count and rearrange them, then you rearrange the items in the transaction list which is there in terms of their support count. So whichever has the largest support count, you will write that item first. Now next one, I2 and I4. Which has the largest support count? I2. So we keep it as same, I2, I4. Similarly, I2, I3 remains the same. Now look at the fourth transaction, I1, I2, I4. Now why is this rearranged over here? This is rearranged as I2 because I2 has the largest support count, followed by I1 which has the second largest support count, followed by I4 which has the third largest support count. Okay, so can you please rewrite this? Okay, please make a note. The item sets are arranged in terms of their decreasing support counts, and then they are rearranged in the transaction list again in terms of their decreased support counts. Okay, is this clear? Is this part clear, students? Is this part clear? Okay, so please do this. Okay. Please copy the contents which are there on this slide. Just 1 second. When you have finished, please let me know. Students, have you finished noting down the contents on this slide? Students, have you finished noting down the contents on this slide? Okay, can I change the slide, students? Okay. Now, the next thing what we are going to do is we need to plot the FP3. Okay, so FP means frequent pattern set. Okay, algorithm. Okay, FP stands for frequent pattern set. Okay, frequent pattern set algorithm. So here, first we need to plot the FP3. Okay, the first step is to construct the FP3. So over here now, how do I get this I2, I1, I5? Now look at the previous slide. What do we have here? We take the first transaction, I2, I1, I5. So what we do over here is we create a root node. This is the root node. Can you see this now clearly? Can you all see this? Okay. So we create a root node, and from the root node we create a branch where each node represents the items in that transaction. So what was it? It was I2, I1, I5. So we create a branch. Okay, here we create a branch I2, I1, I5. Now students, how many times we have traversed through each node over here? Each node represents an item. Okay, I2, I1, I5. In the same order we create a branch. Each node is traversed once, so the count is 1 for each node. We have traveled to each of these nodes only once, so the count is 1. Is that clear? We have traversed through each of these nodes only once, so the count is given as 1. Is this part clear to y'all? Is this part clear to y'all? Students? Okay. Now, what is the next transaction? The next transaction is I2, I4. Now, do we already have a node I2 over here? Do we have a node I2? Yes or no? Students, can you hear what I'm saying? Am I audible? Students, am I audible? I2 is already there. Okay, so now what we do is we will add a branch from I2. Okay, so from I2 we'll add a branch from node I2 and we create a new node I4. So I2, I4. Now why is the count I2, the count changed of node I2 to count 2? It is changed to 2 because I2 now is traversed twice. Okay, first for the first transaction I2, I1, I5, then I2, I4. So this node is traversed twice, so the count is increased to 2. Is this clear? The count is increased to 2. And I4 is traveled only once. Okay, you traverse through I4 node only once, so the count is kept as 1. Is this part clear? The count is kept as 1. Is this okay, students? Have you all understood this? Now, what is the next transaction? Next we have is I2, I3. Okay. The next transaction we have is I2, I3. Now, do we already have a node I2? Do we already have a node I2, students? Yes or no? So from I2 we create another branch. Okay. From I2 node we create another branch I2, I3. Now I2 again is traversed, so the count is increased to 3. Okay. Students, have you all understood till here? Students, have you all understood till here? Okay. Now, the next we have transaction is I2, I1, I4. Now, I2, I1, I4. Do we have a branch I2, I1? Is this branch already available? Yes or no? Do we have a branch I2, I1? So from I2, I1, we will create another branch and we will label a node I4. Okay. So again I2, I1, I4. Now again the count is increased of I2 to 4 and I1 is traversed twice. So the count is increased to 2. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear? Now, the next thing what we have is I1, I3. Now, I1, I3 students, okay, I1, I3. Do we have a branch for I1 from the root node? From the root node, do we have a branch for I1? From the root node, is there a branch for I1? Is there a branch for I1 from the root node? Kindly look at the tree which we have already partially constructed. No. So from the root node, you create a new branch that is, this is called as a root node. This null is a root node. So you create a branch for I1, I3. Okay. You create a branch for I1, I3. And the count is kept as 1. You say I1 is over here. Yes, but it doesn't start from the root node. Okay. This from the root node I2 starts. So we have to create a new branch. Okay, and the count is kept as 1. Then the next transaction is I2, I3. Now, do we have already a branch I2, I3? Do we have a branch I2, I3? Do we have a branch I2, I3? The next transaction, the sixth transaction is I2, I3. Do we have a branch I2, I3? So what will be the count of I2 and I3? What will be the count of I2 and I3? What will be the count of I2 and I3? What will be the count? Okay. So that is shown over here. Okay. I2 is 5 and I3 is 2. Okay. Now coming to the 7th transaction, we have I1, I3. So do we have a branch for I1 and I3? Do we have a branch for I1 and I3? Okay, so what will be the count? What will be the count? What will be the count, students? What will be the count? What will be the count, students? Okay, fine. So this will be the count. Okay, I1, I3 will be 2, 2. So these two counts are updated. Okay, these two counts are updated. Then the next one we have is I2, I1, I3, I5, right? I2, I1, I3, I5. So now do we have the branch I2, I1? Do we have the branch I2, I1? Do we have a branch I2, I1? So from that branch, we will create a branch for I3, I5, okay? And the counts are updated as 6 and 3. Okay, the counts are updated as 6 and 3. Okay? Is this clear? The counts are updated as 6 and 3. Okay, now this is traversed 3 times, I3 and I5, such traversed only once. Okay, now the last one is I2, I1, I3. Okay, so do we have a branch I2, I1, I3? Do we have a branch I2, I1, I3? Okay, so we will create, okay, we will just update the counts. I2 becomes 7, I1 is 4 and I3 is 2. Okay, so this is the final FP tree. Okay, now students, just note down these steps first. Okay, please note down these steps. Have you taken down the diagrams step by step? Have you taken down the diagram step by step? No, so just take it down. Once you have finished both the two slides, then I will go to the next part. Okay, please take down the contents which are there on this slide. And what about the previous slide? Have you noted the contents of this slide? Have you noted the contents of this slide? Have you noted? Why? I told not to note it down, Rishikesh. Rishikesh, just take a screenshot, please, from your phone or whatever, and then I will shift the slide. Can you do that, please? Rishikesh? Yeah, have you taken the screenshot? Okay. Then you all can take down the contents on this slide. Please take down the contents on this slide, all of you all, and then don't say my book is not complete and all. Now you all are grown up kids, please do it, okay? Please take down the contents. And if you're absent, see that You'll get your books updated. Please tell your friends, those who are absent. When I'll finish noting the contents on this slide, let me know. Have you all finished? Have you all finished, students? Have you all finished? Okay. You can take down the next slide. This is the final FP tree, okay? Have you all finished, students? Okay. Now, the next thing is to derive the frequent item sets. Okay. So we have created what is known as the frequent pattern tree. The FP tree has been created. So now we will start with the derivation of frequent pattern sets. So for that, students, we will start in this order. We'll start in ascending order. We will start with the item set with the lowest support count. Okay. Now, please note one thing over here. These items are all included because we are assuming the minimum support is 2. Okay. So since all these item sets have a support count of 2 and above, we have kept them. So we'll start first with the item I5, which has the lowest support count. Okay. So now let us look at that item I5. So now we have to generate a conditional tree for item I5. So first students, we will look at the final FP tree which is constructed. Okay. So we will look for all the branches which are ending with I5. Okay. Which are where I5 is there at the end. Okay. So which are the branches, in the sense I5 may not be the last leaf node, but which is at the end, provided it's not starting from the root. Okay. So which are the branches which are ending with I5, I2, I1? Okay, then I2, I1, I3. So what we get is the conditional pattern base I2, I1, and we put this count, which is 1, append it over here. This is the first branch. Then I2, I1, I3, I5. Now the count of this node is also 1. So we put this branch I2, I1, I3. Okay, I2, I1, I3. Is this clear? So the count is appended over here as 1. This is called as a conditional pattern base. Have you all understood this much? Again, I repeat. Look at the branches where I5 is towards the end. So here we have two branches, I2, I1, I5, I2, I1, I3, I5. Now, what you do is, you see what is the count of the I5 node for each branch. In the first branch I2, I1, the count is 1, so you append the count 1. In the second branch I2, I1, I3, I5, the count is 1 for I5, so we append this count. Okay. Now the next thing, now look at the transactions. Okay, which are the transactions which we have I5 in the ending. Okay, we have transaction T100 where I5 is in the ending. Okay, so we will plot this as a tree. Okay, but we don't include I5. We'll only plot I2, I1. We do not. I5 is like a suffix. Okay, I5 is like a suffix over here. We'll plot all the branches where I5 is as a suffix. So I2, I1, okay, we just plot I2, I1. Both are traversed only once, so the count is 1, 1. Then the next transaction where we have I5 is as a suffix I2, I1, I3, the 8th transaction, and I5. So we plot again. Now do we have I2, I1 branch already here? So we already have a branch. So we will just increment the count I2, I1, and we only add a branch for node I3. From I1 we add a branch for node I3, and we increment the count of I2, I1 as 2. Why this is incremented as 2? Because I2 and I1, these nodes are traversed twice. Have you all understood till here? Please let me know if you all have understood till here. Have you all understood till here, students? Have you all understood till here? Okay. Now, students, what we need to do is we need to analyze the tree. Okay, so I have this diagram here. Now, listen very carefully to what I'm saying. You will look at only those parts of the tree which is given over here, which have the support counts greater than 2, greater than equal to 2. What is 2? The minimum support count. So in this branch over here, we can only consider this part of the tree, I2, I1. Why I cannot consider I3 now? Because I3 has a support count which is less than the minimum support count. So I can only consider this branch I2 and I1. Okay. So just listen carefully. Okay. I1, comma, I2 is the branch which is extracted. Okay. I2, I1 branch is extracted. Okay. Now, what we will do over here is I2, I1 branch is extracted. Okay, sorry, it's I2, I1. Okay, so this branch we will append a suffix 5. Okay, we'll append the suffix 5. Now, what will be the support count for this I? Okay, so your conditional FP tree which is generated is I2, 2, I1, 2. These are the counts. I2, 2, I1, 2. Okay, I2, 2, I1, 2. Okay. So that is what is generated, and we append the suffix over here. Now we'll look at the last one, I2, I1, I5. Okay, so we append this. How many times does it occur? Twice. It occurs in 2 transactions. twice. Okay, support count is 2. Now, I2, I5 and I1, I5. Now, how do you derive this? From these two branches, okay, from this branch, I2, I1, okay, you can take the subsets as I2, I5, I1, I5. Okay, take each individual item here, I2 and I1, okay, and you find the support counts. How will you get a support counts? Again, this is 2. So here also it will be I2, I5 is 2, I1, I5 is 2. You take the subsets. What is the subsets of I2 and I1? I2, I1. And then you append I5 to the subset. I2, I5, I1, I5. Now support counts is 2 because this is here 2. So the minimum value of the support counts will also be 2. Okay, here the support count will be 2. Okay, have you understood this part? See, first you take the branch, okay, you take only that part of the branch where the support counts are frequent of the node. Then you append I5 to this branch, okay, and the support count is 2, okay, because it occurs only in 2 transactions. Second, you take the subset of the branch. What is the subset of the branch? I1, one subset, I2, another subset. Now to each subset, you append I5 and then you write the support counts. Have you all understood this much? Have you all understood this much? Here, just take this down. We'll do the next example also. But if you have not understood and you want some doubts to be cleared, please, you can use a mic or you can drop a message in the chat. Can you please, have you all understood this part, all of you all? Have you all understood this part, students? Have you all understood, students? Now, why you don't include I5? I5 is like a suffix. So once you find that part of the branch which all the nodes have a support count greater than 2, okay, greater than equal to 2, then you take that part of the branch and you append I5 as a suffix, okay. Then from that branch you derive the subsets and you append I5 as a suffix. Is this part clear? Is this part clear, students? Students, is this part clear? Please note the contents on this slide. Please note the contents on the slide. When I will finish, drop a message. Have you finished, students? Students, have you finished noting the contents on the slide? Students, have you finished? Okay. Anybody want some more time? Rishikesh? And one more thing, students, I want to make it very clear that you all have to bring your notebooks to the class also. Whatever is done for the online lectures, don't say I was absent or I don't have it, it's in another book. Please bring whatever books you are using for the online lectures for your offline lectures as well. Okay, please come with all the material which you are using for online lectures. Please bring it along when you come for your offline lectures as well. Okay. So now please don't make me repeat this instruction again. Kindly get the materials which are needed. Okay. And if you're absent, please see that you're updating your books. Okay. So now the next one is, just ignore this. I've not animated this part. So I4 is a conditional tree, students. So what are the branches which are ending with I4? Okay, now we take the next item set with the next lowest, the next support count in ascending order. So here I2, I4 is one branch, then I2, I1, I2, I1, I4 is another branch. So we get a conditional pattern base as I2 is 1 because here the count of I4 is 1. Then we have I2, I1, I4. So this branch we take. And again the count of I4 for this branch is appended over here as 1. Now let us look at the transactions which are where I4 is in the ending. That means it's not the prefix, it's acting as a suffix. So I2, I4. So since I4 is a suffix, we don't create I4 as a node. We just plot I2 and the count is 1 because we traverse through I2 node only once. Then the next transaction which has I4 is the fourth transaction. Now we have I2, I1, I4. Again, I4 is not plotted, but I2, okay, I2 we have. So here I2, I1. Since I2 is already there, we just create a branch from I2 for node I1 and we update the count of I2 to 2 and I1 as 1. Why is I2 updated as 2? Because it traverses through node I2 twice. One for this transaction, second for this transaction. Now, over here, which part of the branch will be retained? Which part of the branch will be retained? Will I2, I1 be considered? Will I2, I1 will be considered? Will we consider the entire branch? No, only I2 is considered because, students, I2, the node has a support count which is greater than equal to 2. Okay, whereas I1 has a support count which is less than the minimum support count. So here, students, if you can see, only this part of the branch is considered. Okay, only this part is considered. So we say I2 and we append I4 the suffix and we put the support count. Okay, is this part clear? Okay, so yeah, your conditional FP tree is I2, 2. Okay, is this part clear, students? Is this part clear? Okay, can you please note the contents on this slide, please? Can you please note the contents on this slide? When you are finished, please drop a message. When you have finished, please let me know, students. Have you finished, students? Students, have you finished? Students, have you finished? Okay. So next is I3. Now again we look at the branch I3 over here, the tree. So which are the branches which are ending with I3? I2, I3, okay. Then I1, I3, then I2, I1, I3. Okay, now you say leaf node is not I3. It's okay. We are only looking at those branches where I3 is not the prefix. I3 is, at the end. Okay, it is towards the end. So we are looking at all those branches where I3 is not the prefix, means it's not the starting node. It is one of the ending nodes. Okay, so as long as it's not the starting node, you can consider that branch. So it's not that it has to be the leaf node always. It can be any node except the first node from the root. Okay, it can be any node except the first node from the root. So here we have a conditional pattern base. Okay, so our conditional pattern base we have here I2, I3. Okay, so here we have I2, the count is 2. Then you have I2, I1, I3. So why the count is 2? Because I3 node has a count 2. And then you have I1, I3. Again the count is 2. So we append this over here. Now let us look at the transactions which contain I3 at the end. Okay. So I2, I3, the first transaction, the third transaction, I2, I3. So here you plot a node for I2. I3 is a suffix, so we don't consider it. Then I1, I3. Now we don't have a node I1, so from the root we create a node for I1. Okay. Then the next one we have is I2, I3 again is repeated. So we just increment the count of I2 node. What will be the count of I2 node? What will be the count of I2 node? 2. Okay. Then we have I1, I3. Okay. So it is 2, and here again this will also be 2 because they are traversing through the same node again. Okay, then you have I2, I1, I3. So here I2, I1. So we have I1 is a node, but we don't have I2, I1. So from I2 we create a node for I1. Okay, from I2 we create a node for I1. Okay, count is 1. Then this will be 1 and I2 will be 3 because again it's traversed. Then you again have a T900, I2, I1, I3. There is I5 also, we don't consider I5, we'll only consider till I3. So again we increment the count for I2, I1. Okay, we increment the count for I2, I1. Now, listen very carefully to what I'm telling you all. Yeah. Now over here, students, do we retain both the branches? Do we retain both the branches? Do we retain both the branches? Do we retain both the branches, students, of the conditional FP tree? This is a conditional FP tree. Do we retain both the branches? Fine. So here we will retain both the branches. Now, why have I drawn this dotted line from I1 to I1? Now, students, in a FT tree, okay, I just want to bring this to your notice. If the nodes are there on different branches, the same I1 node is there on different branches, then all the same nodes on different branches are connected together with dotted lines, okay? First thing, all the nodes which are the same and are on different branches. I1 is on this branch, I1 is on this branch. So since they are the same node, they are connected with dotted lines. So first we retain both the branches I2, I1 and the other branch I1. So what we will have our branches as, okay, just listen carefully. We have two branches, I2, I1 and I1. Okay. Now, since they are there on different branches, the support counts are added. So the support count of I1 will be 4. 2 plus this 2. 2 plus 2. The support counts are added. Okay. So now over here, what we have is we'll append I1, I2, I2, I1, we append I3. Then, okay, if we take the subsets, now listen carefully to what I'm saying. Huh? If you take the subset I1, I2, okay. So what we will get here? We will append I2, I3, okay, I1, I3, and I2, I1, I3. Okay, these are what we will get. We'll append to the subsets I3 and the branch I2, I1. Now you say I1 is here also. So since I1 is already taken from this subset, we don't consider it again. But why is the count of I1, I3, 4? Why is the count of I1, I3, 4? Because we're adding these two support counts together. 2 plus 2. Okay, we're adding the support counts of I1 together. So it will be 4. Is this part clear? But why this is 2 then over here? Because on this branch, okay, listen carefully to what I'm saying now. On this branch we have, listen to this, okay, I'm just writing this down. I2, 4, okay, I1, 2. So when you have this kind of a branch, I2, 4 and I1, 2, you take the minimum value. What is the minimum of 4 and 2? What is the minimum of 4 and 2? What is the minimum of 4 and 2, students? 2. So that's why you put the value 2. And if you want to cross verify whether this is correct, just count. Count over here. How many times will I1, I2, I3 occur? Once and twice. What is the support count of I2, I1, I3? Is it 2? Is it 2, students? Yes or no? Is it 2? Is the support count of I2, I1, I3 and I2, is it not 2? So you get the same value, okay? I1, I3, you can just count. I1, I3 once, okay? I1, I3 twice, I1, I3 thrice, and I1, I3 four. So 4 times it occurs together, okay, in this transaction list. So you will get the same answers. Is this clear? Is this clear, students? Okay. Please take this down. Okay. Please take this down, students. Please take this down. Please take this down. Have you noted it down, students? Can I change the slide? Can I change the slide? Okay. When you finished, please drop a message. You can take down the next slide, students. Okay. You can take down the next slide. When you're finished, please drop a message that you're finished. Okay, I'll change the slide, students. Have you all finished? Have you all finished? Students, I'll change the slide. Okay. The next one we have is I1. Okay. We don't take I2. Okay. We only take till the, what do you say? The, from the ascending order, we'll go till the second last element. We don't take I2. I2 is the first element. No, we don't take that. We'll go till I1. So now again we look at branches, which are I1 is in the ending position. So we see there's only one branch. Now why we can't take I1, I3? Because I1 here is in the starting position. That is, it is starting from the root node. So we cannot take this branch. Instead, we will take the branch from I2, I1. Okay. So I2, I1 is very simple. We have only one branch. This is 4. Okay. I'm sorry. This is 4. This is 4. This is not 2. So just the support count has to be updated. So here, okay, we have I2, I1, so it is 1. Then I2, I1 again, so the count is updated to 2. I2, I1 for the A transaction, again the count is updated to 3. And you have I2, I1 for the 9 transaction, the count is updated to 4. So here it's very simple. The branch is only one branch, I2. Support count is greater than 2. So the conditional FP tree is I2, 4. Okay. And your frequent pattern set will be I2, I1. Append I1 and the support count is 4. Okay. This is very simple. Is that clear? Please understand this is 4. Okay. This value is 4 over here. Okay. Kindly update this value as 4. Okay. Is this part clear, students? Is this part clear? You can take this down, students. Is this part clear? Any questions? Okay, then please answer your roll call as you are taking the contents down. Wendell, Mehul, Tanish, Jason, Saish, Rahul, Lakshmi, Rishikesh, Lizanne, Shrisha, Sheetal, Mahip, Savita, Virisha. Savita is absent. Pradnya, Mohit, Sia, Akshata, Ujjwal, Ditesh, Sumedha, Shriyash, Shavik, Marlin, Tania, Dattaraj, Gayatri, Parth, Dattaraj is absent. Sahil, Romano, Pranav, Rahil, yeah, just one thing. Purvesh, Adarsh, Manal, Mayuresh, Mayuresh is absent. Tirtha, Salil, Tamish, Tanisha, Tirtha, Yash, Sanket, Gunesh, Sheena, Rinki, Anish Keni, Sanat, Anish Keni, Sanat, Anish Keni, Sanat, Anish Narvekar, Sujit, Sushrut, Nikhil, Aniksha, Ruchita, Sampada, Alison, Saifan,